Hiya, welcome to Tales Beyond the Grave and welcome back to another video. And we're here today, we're in the village of Billinge over near Wigan, and we're here today to find what's known as a vampire's grave. So bear with us, we'll go and find it and I'll tell you a bit about where we are and why it's got a vampire's grave. So we're in the village of Billinge and it has a population of around 6,500 people and about 25 miles from the centre of Manchester. And the name derives from the Old English Billa Ridge, or place at the pointed hill. And the pointed hill in Billinge is known as the Billinge Lump. The name Billinge was recorded in 1252, and so it dates back quite a long time, this place. And this is the lovely church of St Aiden's where I've brought you today. But I'm just going to show you over the road. There's a place of interest just over the road. I'm just going to show you this pub here. It's called the Stork Inn, and it was once a prison on that site, built on that site. It was called Tower Prison, and it was used by parliamentarians to imprison royalist soldiers during the English Civil War. Just on that site, who'd have thought that? Now, the strange thing about it, in 1752 the prison was torn down and the Stork Hotel, as you can see, was built in its place. Now, parts of the old prison are still preserved underneath the building. The old cells where they used to imprison the royalist soldiers are still there, and it was shut down recently after a fire. But what an interesting fact, that just below the surface of that pub is the prison cells of the once known Civil War prison, Tower Prison. So I mentioned Billinge Lump, as it's known around here, and that was it's high up, and it's where there was once a nuclear bunker. The Royal Ordnance Corps were stationed up there should there ever be a Cold War attack by the Russians, and they took it really serious because they it was an early warning system should there be bombers coming over, bombs being dropped, fallout, things like that, so it could all be monitored. So it's quite an interesting place, and there's quite a few of them based around Manchester where they have these nuclear bunkers on top of high hills, just for early warning. And it just shows you how close we did come to nuclear war at one point. So this is St Aiden's Church in Billinge. It's not a big church, and it's built over a couple of sites, graveyards and cemeteries just behind there, but that's probably the original cemetery or churchyard. Now in 1539 the people of Billinge, who had to travel to Wigan to attend parish church, and they decided that they wanted to own their own place of worship within the village, so a chapel of ease was built. And this was paid for by the villagers and the parishioners of Billinge. And by 1718, a new chapel was built by one of the finest architects of the time, Henry Sefton. The trouble was, it could only hold 200 people, and the population of Billinge at the time was around 900. So around 1823, 1824, the capacity of the chapel was increased by the addition of the north and the south galleries. In 1907, the notable architect, who was a Mr. T.G. Jackson, was employed to extend the church again. As you can see, the extension of the church. It's a lovely church. It's right set on a crossroads, so it's limited space, if you know what I mean. And they've used most of the space to extend the church. Really nice church inside as well. Now inside, the box pews were removed and used for panelling around the church. And in the centre of the nave is a brass candelabrum, and that dates from around 1718. When the church used, that's when the church used candles and oil lamps to illuminate during the services. So why am I in Billinge today? So the reason I'm here is because does Billinge village hold a secret, a dark secret? and it's rumoured that there's a vampire's grave buried just round the corner from here, and I'm going to take you to that. But there's 3 theories which I think fits in really. Is it an old folklore? Is it just a grave? Or is there a mystery behind this grave? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you around and show you what's known as a vampire's grave of Billinge. Strange place to bury a vampire, in a churchyard. Now why would they do that? Maybe it's just old folklore, tales from the village. Maybe it's just a strange headstone, or maybe there was a vampire lurking around the village of Billinge. So what do we know about the grave? Well, for sure we know it's a grave of George and Kitty Smith, who lived in the village. Now the story behind the burial is George lived and worked in the village, and he worked on Billinge Lump, where he was bitten by a snake, and he died of the results of this snake bite. Now he was buried in the churchyard of St Aiden's, where I am today, and it said that Kitty died of a broken heart because she couldn't live without her beloved George. And what they did was they opened the grave again, they opened the coffin, and they buried Kitty with her husband George in the grave. I'm going to take you around and show you. It is a strange grave, but the emblem, what's on the grave, there's a reason for that emblem. I'm not saying it's a vampire, it does look like a vampire's grave, but it's a reason why it has this emblem on the grave. I'll take you over to it now. And the grave I've come to see is that one there. It's a stone coffin shape, and it has one of the most peculiar emblems on the front of the grave. Look at that. You can see, this is why people think it could be a vampire's grave. The camera doesn't like it, it keeps trying to turn away. And what we have here is a serpent, which you can see the serpent here is eating itself, its own tail. We've got the skull, and we've also got the wings, which look like bat wings. Look at that. You can see why people or stories have been passed down about the vampire grave of Billinge. So let's decipher this then. So what it is the skull represents death, which comes to us all. The wings represent the ascent to heaven or to the afterlife, and a snake eating its own tail is called an arobus, and it's an ancient symbol of eternal life. Now this is the grave of Kitty and George Smith, and it's strange that whoever paid for the burial of Kitty and George should represent their death in such a peculiar gravestone or grave marking. And it's easy to see why people do come and visit this graveyard just to see this, because this people have been known to say it is a vampire's grave, which I don't believe. I do believe the story of the snake and George dying and Kitty dying of a broken heart. Yeah, I do believe that, but I'm all for the symbol. I'd love to think that's a vampire's grave in there. After watching so many Hammer horror films, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, that's what you come up with, or Nosferatu. But yeah, is there a vampire living in this, or residing in this grave? I don't know. I wouldn't like to say. I don't think so, but it's really interesting in any other way just to come and visit the vampire grave of Billinge. So it's a strange story, isn't it, really? I can understand why people come just to visit it, but it'd be just an interesting grave. I've seen the skull before, on a gravestone, and I've seen the serpent before, but I've never seen the wings and all three of them together, which is interesting, because the wings do actually look like bat wings, to tell you the truth. So, does it hold a secret, Billinge? Was there once a vampire roaming the village at night, looking for victims? I don't know. Was it just a normal burial, George and Kitty? Possibly. Or was it something of a ritual to bury him in the churchyard under that stone? Macabre stone, really. But all credit to the stonemasons for producing that. But it's a bit interesting story, isn't it? It's something I've wanted to come and have a look myself. I've seen it on various YouTube videos, and I just wanted to come and make my own opinion. But to me, I think it's just a gravestone of its time, the Freemasons of its time, and that emblem represents the circle of life. I've just seen someone run across there then. I don't believe that. I've just seen someone run across. That was strange. Not a vampire during the daytime though. Can't be. But yeah, it's just an emblem of the circle of life, really. The snake eating itself, eternal life. The wings ascending to heaven, and the skull represents death, which comes to all of us. So I'll leave that story with you. So I'm going to end the video here now. Thanks everyone for watching Tales Beyond the Grave. This has been the village of Billinge in just near Wigan. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like. You don't have to, but it does encourage me to get out and film, especially like this. It's not even rained every time I do these videos. It seems to rain, but it encouraged me to get out, knowing that I've filmed another video which people like and which you like, and I'll go on filming and see if I can find any more for you which are interesting. So, from Tales Beyond the Grave, thanks for watching. I'm just, I don't know where I'm going on the next one now. I've got a few lined up, so what I'll do, I'll just see you when I get there. So, thanks for watching. Bye.
Smile fair as spring, as towards him he draws you. His tongue sharp and silvery as he implores you. Wishes he grants as he swears to